Alright, let's talk some old school trucking, shall we? Yeah, let's do it. Alright, hello everyone, hello YouTube! YouTube! Alright, beautiful day, man. Didn't even know it was freaking February right now. Shit. Alright, let's talk some old school. Let's talk old school trucking. What about old school trucking? Man, there's a lot to talk about old school trucking. One thing I have to say about old school trucking is, man, it was, well, I act like I've been an old school truck driver, but I've been around it all my life. Old school trucking back in the day, the 70s, hell, the 80s. I mean, you talk to any old truck driver, and it was very respectful back then. I mean, it was a way to make a living. It was a way to just, you made money and did old school trucking. But the biggest thing then was the respect that drivers had for each other. I mean, back then you didn't have a GPS. You had maps. You had payphones that you would stop and you would call and hey, how do I've got a shipment for you. It delivers at this time. How do I get there from here? I mean, you get lost, you break down, and there'd always be a driver there to be like, hey man, you need some help? Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I got something. I got some tools in the truck. Let's go get this done. Let's get you back on the road. Let's go make some money. I mean, it was respectful. I didn't drive during those times by all means, but my dad did, and the trucking industry really started to change probably around 2004, 2005. Back then, man, you had a truck. It was your workhorse. It was your, it was your power horse to get your job done, to make the money for your family. And not saying that it is now. I mean, but back then you had real engines. Like, you didn't hook up a computer to your truck and be like, oh yeah, it's just this. I mean, if it broke down, it was broke down. There was no computers, no nothing. Back then, I mean, when that black coal was coming out of them pipes, mister, it was hammered down. Let's go do it. Let's go make that money. And I mean, a lot of people use these things here, back in the day. Oh, where is it? Oh, there it is. This thing here, it's kind of dark. CB. Communication back then was awesome. Hey man, we got a bear in the air. We got Kodak with a Kojak, whatever the hell the saying was. I mean, you knew when there was something wrong. Also, back in old school trucking, as a man worked to work, you were a working man. There's no such thing as being lazy. There was work ethic back then. Back then, the respect of it was that the truck driver is moving America. They're getting your freight to your families, to your grocery stores, your gas to your cars. Now we're just a fucking nuisance now, but it all changed, But I don't have the acknowledgement. I don't have a guy next to me that's been driving for 40 years. I should just record a conversation between my dad and I, because it never fails. By the end of our conversations, at some point in the an hour and a half that we talk trucking. And that's just how it is. It's always been that way with my dad and I. And it only got worse once I started driving. But, old school trucking, man, I still wish it was here. I don't even know why I have a CB in my truck, to be honest with you. Most of the time I'm turning it down because of all the damn garbage on it. But old school trucking. Old school trucking. I don't know what more I could say about old school trucking. I mean, back then there was no such thing as a regen on your truck. Or D-rate. I wish I could go back to the 70s and see what it was really like. I know drivers were always a pain in the ass because we're slow, take up a lot of room. But hey, not only do truck drivers and train engineers move freight for America, but just remember, it still comes to you in a truck. So that's about all I got for old school trucking. The biggest thing was the respect that was out there compared to now. And I'll do a segment on the new age, the new era of truck driving. And, you know, eventually at some point in a lifetime it was going to change, but it wasn't just the driver that made it change. It was the government that made it change. But, you know, all back in the old school, the only thing that was really regulated the most was that you carried that logbook and you made a logbook. And you better be right or it was a nice fine. But it still is. But now there's electronic logs, which is totally another subject, which I got some more on that too. But that's what I have for old school trucking. My number one thing that I can tell you the biggest difference right now that irritates me is the respect that other drivers had for other drivers. Because there isn't no more, man. There's no respect on the road, period. Just wish that some of the old school drivers that are still around today just kind of, they had the respect. And I understand why they don't. But not everybody's like that. And I wish they realized that. Because I consider myself an old school driver. It's because I was raised and taught right in that very passenger seat right there. Well, maybe not this one, but passenger seat. I sat there for years, whether it be with my dad or my friend. But I learned more in that seat, and I'm learning more every day in this seat. More and more every day. It's all old school driving. Nowadays, no one just gives a shit. And it's sad. It really is sad. But anyways, I'm going to wrap up this video. Don't want to be too long. But that's what I have for old school trucking, is the respect. There was respect then. There isn't now. But that's a whole nother topic. Anyways, like, share, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Zippie out. One more thing I forgot to talk about old school trucking. I do know for a fact that old school trucking, the way you see truck stops now, didn't look like that back then. Why? Again, was the respect. It was respect to the drivers. You just didn't throw your shit out your window and just drive away. But they didn't have all these, what do you want to call them? They didn't have pilots and loves. I'm trying to get the right word out here. Chain. They didn't have chain truck stops back then. They had mom and pop shops. So they always kept it clean. But I can't remember any time I went to a truck stop with my old man that there were piss bottles sitting outside by the garbage cans. Anyways, now we're out. Zippie is out. I think I'll edit that. Yeah. Maybe? I don't know.